the city of Aswan in Egypt. After you visit Cairo, I recommend going to Luxor, full of history, a little bit further south on the Nile. A little bit further south on the Nile is the city of Aswan. That's about as far south as you can go because there's a high dam there, and yeah, as far as I understand, you cannot cross. But Aswan was a really cool place to visit. I would definitely like to go back in the future, and I have to say, this is the place where I experienced the least harassment of all the places in Egypt. So the least amount of people trying to sell me something and the least amount of people making comments about my appearance. Even though in all places I was fully covered. Okay, but one thing I didn't know about Aswan until I got there is that you can visit a Nubian village. There are various Nubian villages to visit. So Nubians are people that are indigenous to the southern part of Egypt and also Sudan. They have their own culture and their own ways of doing things, which was really interesting, including having pet alligators in their houses, which I have to say, I did not see that one coming. And of course, different types of food and just ways of life. The houses are so colorful, and it was really cool to go on a tour of the Nubian village. So I would recommend that you do that. You won't have any trouble finding one. It was very peaceful in Aswan, very peaceful. I visited a park down the street from the ferry to Elephantine Island. This was the first and only place where no one said anything to me. Nothing. At all. And I was so happy about that. I felt like I could finally just relax and enjoy and take in the scenery. In fact, some people tried to help me. I saw a young girl by herself trying to take a selfie, so I asked her if she wanted me to take a picture of her, or I tried to ask her by using hand signals, and she ended up wanting to take a picture with me, and then I took a picture with her, and then there were some other people around that were kind of like smiling and like, oh, that was nice kind of thing. And then there was an older couple that saw that I was like kind of lost, looking at my phone trying to figure out which ferry I needed to take to go back, and they tried to help me, but we realized we couldn't communicate, so I just, said thank you and smiled. But that was the only people that talked to me. Everybody minded their business, nobody was selling stuff, and it was just it's a beautiful, really nice park. Also, there's a couple of ways to arrive to Aswan. You can take a felucca, an Egyptian sailboat. Now keep in mind the wind, you're going in the opposite direction of the current. So it might take you, a couple of days to get down there. I think it's like 3 or 4 days. You can take the train, which is what I did. It took about 3 or 4 hours, and I don't remember how much it cost. I don't know. It was less than $20. And you can also fly, or you could get in a private car. It's another way. It's only a couple of hours drive. You can also take the felucca from Aswan back up to Luxor, which is something I would like to do one day, and I believe you can do it in a little, like around 24 hours, something like that, which I think would be a really cool experience. Let's see. So you can take the felucca. If you haven't ridden a felucca already, you can certainly do so in Aswan. And you definitely need to visit Elephantine Island, another place where no one hassled me. No one. Did you hear that? I'll say it again. No one. It was really nice and really peaceful and just really quiet. I really enjoyed staying on Elephantine Island. I wish that I would have spent more time because I would have liked to explore a little bit more with some of the surrounding islands and just maybe go for a run around the island, but it was really nice. It was really quiet. The prices were reasonable. Nobody hassled me. There was, I went to a nice little restaurant. I went to a little shop and bought some souvenirs. The prices were, where they should be. And it was honestly just so refreshing after a couple of crazy weeks in other parts of Egypt. So without further ado, be sure to check out my adventures in Aswan, at the Nubian village, at the botanical gardens, as well walking around the local park and probably a few other scenes. And be sure to subscribe. Thanks guys, see you in the next one. at the botanical garden in Aswan. So beautiful. Exactly what I needed today. Look at this massive tree. Wow, the base. It's incredible. Look at that.